guys! The world is kind of upside down right now, so let's take a break and slow down, do something easy, fun, and creative, like making an origami butterfly with repurposed paper. So all you need for this craft is any kind of paper you have laying around. So I'm using something we printed out to adjust our printer. You might have just some notebook paper, any kind of paper will work. 8.5 by 11. The printer paper size works really well for making nice big flappy butterflies, but it doesn't have to be exactly that size. It'll still work. You also need something to decorate with, so I'm using a pencil. You could use colored pencils, markers, paint, whatever you have, and some scissors. So the first thing you're going to do is take the top corner of your paper and fold it down to meet the other side, and just press your hand on the fold to make a nice crease. Now you have a triangle with a little bit of extra paper at the bottom. We don't need that extra paper for this craft, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. Alright, I'm just going to set it aside. So now what you're left with, if you unfold it, is a square with a crease running down the middle. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut right along that crease. Your cut doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. Not a big deal if it's a little bit off the line. Alright, so now we've got two triangles. One triangle makes one butterfly, so since I'm just making the one today, I'm going to set this one aside. You can use yours to make a second butterfly for yourself, or maybe even share it with someone you live with and they can make a butterfly with you. Cool. Now it's time to decorate. So as you can see, one side of my paper is already decorated since I'm using repurposed paper. So I'm just going to flip this over and decorate the other side. You can see we've been using it for notebook paper too to try and repurpose it a little bit. I'm going to give mine some eye spots, which is a real marking that a lot of butterflies and moths have in real life. That kind of looks a little bit like some kind of creature's eyes peering out from the wings of the butterfly or moth. I'm also going to give mine some leaf camouflage so that it can better hide from predators. And some more leaves on this side. You guys can get as creative as you want with these. You don't have to make it look like a real life butterfly. You can make it look however you want to. Your butterfly, your rules. Okay, since I'm done decorating mine, what I'm going to do next is take the side that I want to be the underside and face it up. So I want this to be the back side, and I want this one to be the underside. So I'm going to face that up. And then you're going to take this long straight side and point it to your right. So it'll be going off to the right. Next, what you do is take this top corner and fold it down to meet this bottom corner. And where it folds, you just push on that to make a crease. Next thing we're going to do is make a couple of simple cuts. The first one is about 1/3 of the way in from the pointy side of the fold. So here's where the fold is on mine. I'm going to cut about 1/3 of the way in from the pointy side. Alright, so you can see that's hanging loose now. And the next cut I'm going to make is a little bit of a diagonal right here. So I'm going to cut in a little bit at a diagonal going toward the fold. Don't cut all the way to the fold. Maybe stop when you're not quite there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little bit in. Not quite all the way to the fold. You can see there's some little pieces hanging now. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a fold that goes from the end of this cut to the end of this cut. So I'll fold it and then show you where that fold goes. So you can see the fold goes from the end of the cut over here all the way to the end of the cut over here. You just push on that. Next, I'm going to flip it over and fold again, taking this top piece and folding it down so that it matches all of the other sides. So I'm going to fold it until it matches and just push on that to make a nice crease. Now all that's left to do is unfold your butterfly or moth and take these little pieces that are hanging off and just pinch them so that they're pointing up. And now you have your butterfly. So to make it move, what you do is you grab it by this fold and you can just move it up and down and it'll flap, just like a butterfly.